Hey everyone, how's it going? So we're back with some more Explorer and Pioneer content, and we are playing a little bit more of the kind of Dimir durdling around, bouncing things to play Fear of Isolation and This Town Ain't Big Enough and value style trains. And this time we kind of discarded the Waste Knot and we've turned it into a Yorion deck, which obviously has the ability to kind of blink all of our various enchantments which are on the battlefield, so potentially getting value out of them that way. So this feels much more like a Dimir control build than it does the kind of I don't know, how would you describe Waste Not? It's kind of a mid-range deck in some ways, and kind of control-y, but this one leans much more heavily into control. So the Waste Nots have gone, and we are running an 80-card main deck, but you'll recognise, if you watch the other video, which I'll link in the description, you'll recognise quite a lot of the cards that we used from that one. So we've got Stormchaser's Talent, which is a great bounce target, creates a otter with prowess when it comes into the battlefield, and then later in the game it gets us a little more value out of it. Hopeless Nightmare, making the opponent discard a card, same with Tiny Bones joins up. Fear of Isolation, one of our primary kind of bounce spells, which gives us a 2/3 flyer as well. You know, it's a Stormchaser's Talent into a Fear of Isolation turn 1 and 2 is just a good time. Nowhere to Run, a good removal spell that we can repeat, also gets around hexproof. And This Town Ain't Big Enough, which is the kind of premier bounce spell in the deck. It's in the 5-drop slot, but really in this deck it's almost always a 2-drop, because it costs 3 less if it targets a permanent you control, and you can return up to 2 target non-land permanents to their owner's hand. This card is an absolute menace. It's just generates so much tempo and value that it's hard for the opponent to catch up. And then in terms of our kind of other control shell cards, well, we've got Thoughtseize and Fatal Push, which you kind of expect to find in most black decks. But we are also running a set of counter spells with Jawari Disruption, Get Out, which also doubles as a bounce spell, as well as a counter spell, Drown in the Lock, and then some additional removal around with Go for the Throat and Deadly Cover Up as mass removal. Omen of the Sea, which is another good blink target and bounce target, which gets us some card selection and advantage. We've got Cling to Dust for a little bit of main deck graveyard hate. So yeah, you're kind of, it's almost like we've taken Dimir Control and Dimir Waste Not and sort of smashed them together. And then we are also running 4 copies of Narset Parter of Veils, so this is a great way of just refilling our hand with lots of non-creature, non-land spells. Shuts down the opponent's attempts to draw additional cards as well. So yeah, this is a very good card in the deck, and potentially a bounce target later on to reset its loyalty and get us some more cards. So yeah, that is what we're playing in the main deck. Obviously our mana base is similar to any other blue-black deck, with just a little bit more extensive because we need those extra lands to fill out the 80 cards. So we're running full 4 copies of Shipwreck Marsh, 4 Gloom Lake Verges, as well as 4 Dark Slick Shores, and 1 Under City Sewers as well. We've got an Urborg just to help fix our mana if we need it. A couple of Hive of the Eye Tyrants for a creature land, and because this deck is does not run very many creatures, you've got the Stormchaser's Talent tokens and the Fear of Isolation. It will be a slow, grindy win at winning of the game. So Hive of the Eye Tyrant can often come in handy doing that. Takenuma and Otawara, and we are running 3 Field of Ruins as well, not only to take out difficult lands that the opponent might be playing, but it's a good way of triggering Fatal Push in a deck that doesn't generally have many things leaving the battlefield from kind of the opponent killing them, because it doesn't run many creatures. So in the sideboard, obviously we've got 1 slot for Yorion. We've got a Grafdigger's Cage and 2 Unlicensed Hearses, just as some additional graveyard interaction. Grafdigger's Cage also shuts down some of the more annoying library fetching, getting cards from the library. So cards like Collected Company are shut down by Grafdigger's Cage. Mystical Dispute, so some more counter magic. Ashiok is some graveyard hate. Unmoored Ego, just sniping particularly difficult cards the opponent may have. We're kind of running in a world of Zers and Overlords. Taking out all of their Zers can sometimes be pretty backbreaking. Demonic Pact, again a good blink target, this one. Get lots of value out of it over the game. We're not trying to give it to the opponent or doing any of that kind of thing. Extinction Event, Deadly Cover Up, Meat Hook Massacre, so we do have some more mass removal if the opponent is trying to get us killed quickly, and then a couple of Shieldrids as well, just for the kind of the life gain and the life loss that card brings. So yeah, pretty recognisable, a lot of this, but built in a slightly different shell to what you might have seen before. And yeah, different to the Waste Not deck that I was playing the other day, even though it does have some similarities. So yeah, let's try this out. Thank you very much for watching. As ever, like and subscribe if you haven't already. And let's go on to the ladder. Ooh, oh, that would be such a good hand if the mana wasn't so bad. Oh, that's a shame. Okay, this hand's not terrible, so we'll keep it. I should have said, actually, Yorion is also a finisher. You know, in a lot of matches, a 4/5 bird is pretty spicy by itself. Okay, so they're running Phoenix, which Narset is pretty potent against. In a matchup like this, it is often quite tempting to just leave Narset on 5 loyalty, then it can't be hit by a single Phoenix attack. I think I'll see what they do and whether it looks like they might be able to play Phoenix on turn 3. Okay, doesn't look like it, so... Although, with Artist Talent, actually, it's possible. Okay, I think I like both of those, so we'll keep them both. Well, let's have a cheeky thoughtseize. Okay. So they've got 2 cards in library, in graveyard, 2 Phoenixes. Yeah, let's get rid of their Opt here as the cheapest card that they have to play. And then bounce both of these. That's fine. Okay, so Narset can come down here.
There are so many mysteries to uncover. Keep an open mind.
I'll take a go for the throat. I think is fine. And I'm relatively chill about just holding on to our value cards here. Artist Talent becomes much worse when you can't draw a card off it, so they could bounce the Borrower, bounce with the Borrower rather, but they wouldn't be able to loot, or rummage rather. Yep. So they can just free discard a Phoenix. Yeah, that's not a good move. So we'll play Narset again.
If you wish to surrender now, put thoughtfulness before action.
Yeah, Jawari Disruption is fine. I don't love it here. Probably should have got rid of the Tiny Bones joins up as well. Giving them the choice of discard is not great.
This was overwhelming.
Okay, well, play that down as a land. Get Narset number 2 into play.
My prowess is unmatched by my peers.
And I think we can just pass with that held up at the moment. Then let's see what they want to do here. They know I have a go for the throat. So they may just want to hardcast the second Phoenix. Yep. So we'll kill one. Keep Narset alive. Doing good work. They've got 5 cards in their graveyard. So I think I'm ready to Omen here. It's not looking for a bit more removal. Another Thoughtseize is just kind of okay here. I think I quite like Field of Ruin as an avenue for firing off a Fatal Push. So, okay, let's take their Treasure Cruise here. And just pass the turn. We'll fire off Field of Ruin on their Spy Blocker now. Take a swamp. Okay, that's fine. You can do that. Push their other Phoenix. It's not a great land to have drawn here. Oh. Play Tiny Bones joins up. In fact, almost any other land would have been perfect. So we are going to lose Narset here, but... Well, if we're going to lose it, I might as well just fire it off.
I won't forget our time together. Meditate and prepare.
Yeah, I'll take Thoughtseize again. So they're really short of stuff to do now. Yeah, they can do that, but not hugely bothered by that whole thing. So let's Narset.
Mind and body should move and hone your
Take this town
prowess.
ain't big enough. Play Yorion. Oh yeah, they lose a life. That's fun. I mean, milling them is kind of much of a muchness here.
I have reached my limit. The focus and
So
discipline
target them.
to no obstacles.
Yeah, that makes no difference. Yeah, I think let's keep both of those cards. We'll draw the Fatal Push and keep this town ain't big enough. Yeah, Picklock Prankster's a good draw. So they might be able to get their Phoenixes down here. Looks like they may not... No, they're not going to try. Okay, interesting. Not sure that would be what I would do. So we'll activate Narset. Nope. Okay, fine. Yeah. Oh yes, of course. With Narset on the battlefield, they're Consider wasn't going to do anything. Okay, that's fine. So for anti-Phoenix stuff, we want Grafdigger's Cage, Unlicensed Hearse, Unmoored Ego is also pretty good. Mystical Dispute, Extinction Event is fine. Deadly Cover-Up is probably a bit too slow on the draw, so we'll trim that one. Nowhere to Run is okay. I do not like a lot of our untargeted grave hand hate here, because they can potentially just discard a Phoenix, so we'll get rid of those. Keep Cling to Dust, obviously. Get Out is pretty mid, I think, here. Collective Brutality is fine. Yeah, I'll get rid of Get Out. Countering a creature when they can just potentially bring them all back again is not so great. That's fine. Sorry, drinking very loudly there. Always forget I'm not actually alone when I'm doing this. Fear of Isolation, Nowhere to Run doesn't really have any good targets initially, and neither does Fatal Push, so I think this is a mulligan. Yeah, this is a better hand, even though the mana is super awkward, but the hearse is great, so I'll keep it. I will put back... This town ain't big enough for now. Okay, that's better. So, get our Dispute online. Might be able to use that. Ooh, now this makes for an interesting choice, so I could just... I kind of think I have to get this off the battlefield now. And it does give me a target for my Fear of Isolation shortly. Do I want to play Hearse into what is probably a counter spell? I don't even know if they've still got their... I think it's fine, because I have my own counterspell backup. Okay, they're not that fussed, so they might have boarded out all of their Phoenixes. They have not. Okay. Well, that is not unreasonable for us, to be honest, because I'll just get rid of that. So I've got the option here to Fear of Isolation and then just kill their Phoenix and then eat it straight away, which I think probably feels like a good thing to do, or at least have the option to eat it. So we'll Fear of Isolation, we'll pick up Nowhere to Run. We do lose our access to Mystical Dispute for a turn there, but that's alright. They've got a lot of land. Not sure yet what they're going to do with it. Two more land and they can activate Hall, which is worth paying attention to, because a 7/7 and we don't have any good removal for that would cause us quite a lot of problems. We can draw a Fatal Push, it's not so bad. Oh god, Phoenix number 2. They are all in on hard-casting Phoenix, aren't they? I mean, I will take that block, because now I can just get rid of them both, and I think that is pretty good. And there's 2 of their 4 Phoenixes out the way. Another Nowhere to Run is kind of mid here. I'll get Narset down.
Past, present, just the trick for this.
Yeah, this town ain't big enough is pretty reasonable here. Can use it to bounce a nowhere to run. Potentially Narset as well. Yeah. It's all good. Yep, using Consider on their end, well, not quite my end step, is the right thing to do here. I think I have finally, eventually learned to play around Narset. It's in no way a fair magic card, but fine, we'll just keep chomping away on their graveyard. Yes, this hall is going to turn into a problem pretty soon. So hopefully I can find a removal spell for it.
Keep an open mind.
No, but Omen probably does a reasonable impression of a removal spell, so we'll shock ourselves for the extra mana, which we may well need. I mean, I could put Yorion in my hand here, but I don't think we're at that point quite yet. Do I care about my own graveyard? Don't think so. Let's see what they want to do at the end of their turn. Not much by the look of it, so they don't have the land to... There's a question as whether I want to try and bounce Narset or avoid what might be a counterspell. I'm willing to be persuaded. I think I'm willing to try now because they've used up one of their counterspells. And I've got Mystical Dispute, so it's all good news. Yeah, okay. I mean, if they're using up their counterspells for that, I can kind of live with that. So, chow down on their graveyard. Okay, Fatal Push is good here. So I am happy to just chill, and maybe they will draw the land to activate their hall. Well, I mean, I've got Field of Ruin, to be honest, actually, so them activating it is pretty weak. So maybe I will just put Yorion in my hand. Not using Field. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Because I can just kill it. I can just blow it up in response to them activating it if they try to. Ooh, yes. Ooh, this is going to be tasty. They might concede in response to that. Yep. Yeah. Good. Good, good. Well, we had a pretty easy time of it against Phoenix there. We successfully bullied that deck quite effectively. I like this hand. I like Stormchaser's talent, and this town ain't big enough as a combination. I don't like opponents who play Thoughtseize turn 1. I think... I get the logic. I wonder if taking talent doesn't just strand me with not enough else to do. The case of the stashed skeleton, and I don't really want to let them solve that by bouncing, so let's just pass the turn and smile. Yeah. Okay. No, you got me for now. But Narset's going to come down.
I know 88 ways to defeat with thoughtfulness before action.
Yeah, Thoughtseize is better than Hopeless Nightmare in this situation. Even as much as I would like to bounce something, I think I need an actual look in their hand. And they're a bit short of mana, which is fine. Okay. Ooh. What's going on here? So this could be like a creativity style deck.
Such violence.
Oh god, they didn't get rid of any of their cards. Are they that... They're that not fussed about getting a land. Sheesh. Okay, well... Let's see what they've got going on here. Wow, that is a hand and a half. Okay, I think I'm going to snag one of their Fables here. Or am I just going to take Obnixilis? Obnixilis looks scarier than most of what else they've got going on. And at least Fable coming down gives me a target for... This town ain't big enough. So, play that. Bounce and bounce. Well, so if I put Yorion in my hand here, I've got I do have Fatal Push to answer their creativity if they try and fire it off on the skeleton. Yeah. Okay. So they will be able to solve their case here, unfortunately. So I am going to have to move pretty quickly here. Okay, Jawari Disruption's good. So sacrifice this first, activate only as a sorcery. Okay. So I'll attack. I think I'm just going to try and win before they can do their thing here. Bounce Stormchaser's talent. Yeah, I'll keep the disruption in my hand. Because I do have a target for nowhere to run. Yeah. It's going to be close. Now I feel a bit better. So I should have lethal here. So if I know where to run, trigger, trigger, trigger. Target their reflection. They can't block the Yorion. Yeah, this should be lethal. Okay, creativity in Jund is an interesting challenge. What's the wording on creativity? I think Grafdigger's Cage works against it. Unmoored Ego is obviously a great card to put in. Extinction Event I think I do want here, just because I need a clean answer to if they do manage to creativity. Mystical Dispute, not so much. I mean, I do have some counter spells. 4 cuts. Nowhere to Run is doing good work here. Get Out is probably not, because they're not actually casting any creatures. Deadly Cover-Up can probably go here. Go for the throat is fine. Don't need... yeah, I don't think I need Cling to Dust. It's not the easiest sideboarding I've ever done, but I think this works. Well, this sounds very vulnerable to Thoughtseize. But if they don't have that, then I'm laughing all the way to the bank. And it looks like... ooh, and that is a good draw. Okay, they got their Skellington, which means I won't be able to attack this turn, but I think just durdling around with Fear of Isolation is a perfectly acceptable thing to do at this point in the game. So I'll have one more turn before Creativity comes online, which means holding up Jawari Disruption. Okay, I think Land and Hopeless Nightmare can go here. I don't love getting rid of Hopeless Nightmare, but... I'm obviously not going to block. So, we'll Stormchaser's Talent. I need to hold up removal here, unfortunately. I would like to be able to do another turn of Durdling, but sadly the situation does not allow it. So I think if they try and Creativity here, I'll Jawari Disruption it, and then if they try and do it again, I'll Fatal Push their token. Okay, they do not have the mana. That I am pretty happy about. Okay, and another land is good. So we'll do some attacks. Get another Fear of Isolation down. Picking up our talent again. Hold on to Jawari Disruption. I do worry we're not going quick enough here, but they are on 12, and with prowess creatures that can quickly change. They're being very aggressive with this. I wouldn't necessarily be attacking quite so aggressively, but... No Creativity, you say? Okay, well... Stormchaser's Talent can come down. So we can't represent lethal here. So we'll just attack for 8. Yeah, okay. They're still one turn away from dead. And they're dead. Huzzah. Okay, third match on the draw. Fortunately, this is the kind of deck that doesn't mind too much being on the draw. So this could be a Selesnya Company style deck. So there's some questions about... Not a voice of resurgence. Okay, well that's got to die for a start. I need to be able to cast things on my opponent's turn. What the deuce? Spinner of Souls, 4/3 reach. Whenever another non-creature you may reveal card set. That seems pretty good. Don't like it. Okay. Ugh. What's happening? Am I taking the damage here? I think I am. I'm chilling until I know they're not casting a creature spell. Well, it walks and smells like Collected Company, but it isn't. Oh. Could have been worse. Then you may go again. Yes, that I think I'll counter. Yep. Because frankly, get away from my otters. Rude. Collect Brutality involves discarding a card. I think we need to do that at this point. Let's just get Narset down.
I train every day, meditate, and prepare.
Yeah, that's not really enough cards in their graveyard, so I'll take Nowhere to Run. It's a decent answer for their spinner. Do I want to do it now, just to get the extra prowess trigger? Yeah. I think if they had company, they'd have played it by now. Yes. Is this an Oculus they're going to get? I just assume now everyone's going to get Oculuses. Yep. Okay, well, I very much like what they're doing. Right, well, fire off Narset.
Hone your prowess.
Let's put Oculus back in their hand. Collective Brutality is probably quite good here, so we'll use it for its second two modes. So I need to give a creature -2/-2, which I think will be this face down card. Target opponent. Actually, how many cards have they got? No, let's not. Tell you what, let's not do that, because that will give them the cards they need to cast Oculus again. But then it does... No, I think I am actually going to have to do it, unfortunately. So, let's... Yeah, let's target that. Target them. Discard land. Trigger prowess twice. Play another talent. Now at least we are presenting lethal, so they will have to do some blocks. So they can block one... Well, they can block both our creatures here. But they'll lose both of theirs, which I'm kind of fine with. So yeah, they can bring Oculus back, which is a problem. I mean, I do kind of love what they're doing here, I have to be honest. I'm not happy about it, but I do kind of love it. And I'm not happy, I'm definitely not happy about that. Yeah, this Bant build for Oculus giving you access to stuff like Voice of Resurgence. Yeah, I'm digging it, I'm digging it. Even though it's absolutely battering me and I don't like it. Okay, well let's see what Narset can do for us.
I have practiced against many foes like you. I have just the trick for this.
Does nowhere to run help me particularly here? I don't think it does. I think I'm super dead. They've got an Oculus in hand that they can cast. Yeah. Wow. So. I want Mystical Dispute. I want Ashiok. I want Grafdigger's Cage. I want Unlicensed Hurt. Do I actually want Unlicensed Hurt? I want Unmoored Ego for sure. Deadly Cover-Up is good here. 6 cards to cut. Shieldred, probably not. Extinction Event. Yeah. Is Deadly Cover-Up better? Probably. Okay, what am I trimming? 6. I need to get rid of 6 cards. Good God. Collective Brutality felt pretty weak there. Though it does hit Neoform. Yeah, actually, I'll keep it in. Oh, jeez, what am I cutting? Thoughtseize is good. Fatal Push is pretty good. Talent's good. Well, we'll trim Tiny Bones joins up. That seems like an easy cut. Are the Omens going? Fear of Isolation is fine. They don't have many flyers apart from the Oculus. So we'll trim Omen. And 1 Narset. Difficult to know what to take out there. Probably didn't do that hugely well. Well, this is a very reactive hand, but it's quite a good one. So let's keep it. Yeah, I like what they're doing a lot. I just wish they weren't doing it to me. Well, they're deep in the tank over their hand. Yeah, so blue land for Mystical Dispute. They're almost certainly not playing a blue card on turn 1, but it is probably the right thing to do. Yep. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What are you doing? Don't think I need to Brutality yet, because they don't have anything on the board, so let's just get an otter into play. That's really annoying, because I can't kill that with Brutality. Okay, let's offer a trade with their Paradise Druid, which I'm sure they're not going to take. Okay, Hopeless Nightmare's not bad here. I'll fire that off. God, if they're running Collected Company as well, I'd be fuming. Fuming! Yeah, they are, alright. I'm not having it. This does leave them the option of going to get an Oculus, but I will then deadly cover up and get rid of all their Oculuses. Well, no, I won't, because I don't have enough stuff in my graveyard. And they're just going to company again. So, you know, who's really winning here? Bugger. Okay, well, I'm kind of forced to fire off Deadly Cover Up here, even though I can't then use it to trim, to scalp all of their oculi. But yeah, they've got to go. They've all got to go. Another extraction specialist, you say? That's good news. Hum. Well, they would have, if they had a Neoform, they would have used it. But then what the heck else am I doing? I think I'm just putting Yorion in my hand and holding up Fatal Push here. Well, I don't love that. I don't love them having 6 mana. I don't love them doing that to their graveyard either. These Oculus decks are an absolute menace. They are so good. Okay, I kind of need a land here. Because I need to get that off the battlefield. And I can't do it without... I'm fine. Right, so... I think what I'm going to have to do here is fire off Field of Ruin. Get that Raids Merge Thicket, why not? Interesting that they left their collected companies in the bin. I don't think that's significant, but something to watch out for. Another swamp. Then I'm going to push this, get rid of it. Now I could Brutality here on its 2 modes, but I kind of want to keep Fatal Push, so I could just use it as a blank removal spell to get rid of their Voice of Resurgence. So I don't really want to be casting spells on their turn, so yeah, let's just get rid of that. It's been a pretty rough turn on my life total. Okay, good times, good. I'm having fun. Aren't we all having fun? I'm having fun. Well, I need another Wrath now. Right. So. Could you die, please? Link all 3 of these. Good lord, I mean... That is a heck of a draw they got there. I think that is all 4 Oculuses they've had in play. Yeah, accompanying into 2. Yeah, Deputy of Detention's also pretty good. That gives me no option. Actually, no, it just kills me. Good. Yeah, I got absolutely steamrolled there, and I'm definitely going to try and recreate that deck. If anyone has seen that deck anywhere, a deck list for it, please send it to me. I mean, I can probably guess what most of it is, but that seems pretty spicy. Okay. Well, I think the deck on the whole was pretty good. It struggled against that Oculus deck, so that is worth paying attention to, because I think we're going to be seeing a lot of those. The opponent did have some very good draws, let's be real, but even so. But yeah, on the whole, I don't know. I think this Yorion version of the deck feels a bit more consistent than the Waste Not one. I'd be interested to compare them, actually, watch the videos back and see how they did. But the kind of control shell feels like it's better at taking over the board. And then actually, with the prowess tokens, it doesn't take that long to end the game. Interesting. Good, though. So let me know what you think. Here's the deck list one more time, so make those comments below. Like and subscribe, obviously, and thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time.